Yo, what's up guys, welcome back to a brand new video. In today's video, we're going to be discussing, will Tobey Maguire be in Sam Raimi's Doctor Strange and Into the Multiverse? I think I butchered that name, but we're going to roll with it. Now here's the thing, as we know, Sam Raimi directed the first 3 Spider-Man movies which starred Tobey Maguire. And now, Doctor Strange and In the Multiverse of Madness, the film that features the multiverse, we're bound to see other versions of other MCU heroes at least. And with that being said, with the new deal that Sony have with Marvel Studios about him interacting with other characters, and we know the Vulture from the MCU is actually in Morbius, which is a Sony movie, we can almost guarantee that Sony's Marvel universe of characters is almost connected to the MCU in some way, allowing Tom Holland to jump from either or to star in Venom movies or Venomverse movies, or to star in the MCU movies as well. They're almost connected, but they don't really reference each other. It just allows Tom Holland and Spider-Man to leap across, maybe even Venom leap across to the MCU. Now here is the thing, we know this, but what we don't know is about the multiverse. One thing that we haven't actually seen in the MCU yet is the multiverse. Now, will the MCU multiverse consist of some of the Sony's universes, like Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man, like Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, and with Sam Raimi at the helm of directing it, maybe we might see Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man show up. And here's the thing, we know that Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness is actually meant to be kind of like the team-up movie of Phase 4, as it features Doctor Strange and Scarlet Witch, and then possibly maybe even Iron Man, Robert Downey Jr. from another version of the MCU where he didn't die, maybe even Captain America comes back. This is their way of bringing in these other actors that have been killed off to, you know, feature them in this movie without actually regressing their characters in the main universe. I think this is a clever way. I'd love to see RDJ come back as an alternate version of himself. I think that would be pretty cool. But here's the thing, will Tobey Maguire actually feature in this movie? My personal opinion is no. Now here's the thing, it's not like a no, I'm certain no, it's more like a 70% no. Now obviously Sam Raimi's directing it, that's the first big leap in the right direction. The second thing is, we know it's the multiverse, meaning that it's not just an MCU film, it's whatever other universe film that they pull from, which could be a sequel to Spider-Man 3, for example. And we know that Sony has already made a Spider-Verse film, which means they know and are aware that the Spider-Verse makes a lot of noise in the Hollywood community, in this community of superheroes. Spider-Man and Spider-Verse and all these different characters, especially Spider-Man, this in the 2020s is going to be the big character. I'm calling it. The biggest character and the biggest fictional universe in Hollywood in the 2020s is 100% Spider-Man. And that's the way it's going. We've got Miles Morales, who is freaking awesome. We've got all these other Spider-Man, Andrew, Tobey, that could potentially be showing up. We've got the Spider-Verse, we've got Peter B. Parker, we've got Tom Holland, we've got the Venom stuff, and we've got the MCU looking that Tom is going to be the face of that as well and going forward. And he's the only one that carries Tony Stark's legacy too, who was most undoubtedly the most favourite character and the fan favourite out of every character in the MCU. With that being said, I'm pretty sure it's quite obvious that Spider-Man's going to be really big, so why not capitalise on that and then make a Spider-Verse movie? That would make billions at the box office. It would make billions. It just would. It would definitely pass the 1 billion mark 100%. You're bringing all the fan bases together. If you throw Andrew Garfield, throw Tobey Maguire, and if you throw Tom Holland all into one movie, that is 100% big bucks. And Sony can do that. Sony are allowed to do that, at least when their MCU contract closes up, because we don't know what is in that. Maybe it's in the contract that Sony aren't allowed to have Tom interact with these other 2 Spider-Men. But once that is up, Sony could 100% pull him from the MCU, carry his story through the multiverse, which is being introduced in the Multiverse of Madness, and then throw him in with Andrew and Tobey and have a Spider-Verse. Sony have already made an animated Spider-Verse. Why can't they make a live action one? It would make so much money, and it's unreal how much money it would, and how many people would love to see that. I would myself. So with Sam Raimi at the helm, the Spider-Man director of the new Doctor Strange film, could we see glimpses of Tobey? I'd say no. I don't think he will be in the movie. 100% I think he's going to be referenced though. If they're doing the multiverse and if it's Sam Raimi, 100% going to be referenced. But I don't think he'll show up. I think it'll be a tease to Tobey being in there, and then 5-10 years down the line, we're going to get a live action Spider-Verse with all 3 Spider-Men. I'm calling it. I'm just calling it now. And hey, maybe they'll even cast a live action Miles Morales for that film as well. Maybe they'll get the Miles Morales from the Spider-Verse film and cast him in real life for that movie too. I think that'd be sick as well. You know, and then maybe even the film could hop between animated and live action. I don't know if that's possible. I don't know how that would work out, but I think it'd be cool. I certainly know some films have done it before, not very popular films. I'm pretty sure a Scooby-Doo film did it once with Supernatural, but But with that being said, that's about it, all I've got to say for you today. Yeah, that's just my opinion on the subject. What do you guys think is going to happen with that? Do you think Tobey's going to be in Doctor Strange 2? Do you think he'll be referenced, teased, or some of the like? With that being said, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to comment down below what you thought, and make sure to like this video if you didn't do it. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, and also hit the bell next to the subscribe button to know any more content. With that being said, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.